Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this interview today with Jihan Brifki for Step Magazine. My name is Leila Iskandar. I'm excited to host this discussion as we explore Jihan's journey and insights. Hi, Jihan. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Let's dive in.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, so my first question is, who is Jihan Brifki? Can you please tell us a bit about yourself? Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And what is the degree of education that you have?
Well, I was born in Kurdistan of Iraq, and during the genocide, the Kurdish, and fall 1988, as you know, a lot of Kurds had to flee on feet to survive the genocide. So my family and 20,000 other Kurds from the Kurdistan region fled on foot to the Turkish borders, and we arrived in Merdin camp. We were there from 1988 to 92. So we spent 4 years there, and then we were fortunate enough to be able to move to the United States. We came to Fargo, North Dakota, Moorhead, Minnesota. It's called like FM or Fargo Moorhead because we're two different states, but separated by a Red River. So I grew up here. When we came to the States, I started fourth grade. So elementary, middle school, high school, all in this area. And then I'm majoring in political science. For a profession right now, what I'm doing is I'm an independent contractor. I contract with 3 different agencies doing Kurdish interpreting and English. I work with the U.S. government, and I'm contracted with the U.S. government, and I also work, through this local agency, and I work from home, working with United Kingdom clients, Canada clients, and all 50 states here in the U.S. And I do a lot of nonprofit work. I'm just really passionate about nonprofit work. I work with an organization where we're focused on the environment, bringing some projects into the Kurdistan region on best practices on how to take care of the environment, and also here locally. And I work with Immigrant Development Center as a program director, helping immigrants become, self-sufficient, help them get careers, jobs, even going back to school, whatever they need, we're there to assist them. And also, I'm a board member with a few different places where we're contributing to the community, whether it's funding or whether it's things that we approve or not, based on lakes and prairie community action. I'm a board member there, Presbyterian Church. I'm a board member there. And I'm part of the Lions Club. It's called Fargo Gateway Lions Club. We do a lot of volunteer work in the community. For example, we provide vision screening for students in elementary school in Fargo. We do some of the cleaning projects. We have this event where every year where we have this fundraising. It's like a yearly basketball tournament that we are in charge of. And I think this year we collected around $55,000 in fundraising.
Great.
And then there's this event that happens here. It's called Giving Hearts Day. We have this event that's just for our club where we donate that money back to the community, to those nonprofits that are making a difference in our community. And honestly, I'm just constantly busy, and I just don't like, yeah, I don't like to waste time.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. My second question is, what made you choose a leadership role that involves politics?
I honestly, I just don't call myself a leader. I feel everybody that is with me, works with me, we're all, leaders together.
Right.
And politics for me was huge reason for that, as you know, being a Kurd, it's very, very hard, you know, and if you're not involved in politics, if you are not getting involved, if you're not speaking up, if you're not voting, if you're not getting to know your politicians and getting active and being part of, the community and getting involved, I feel like your voice is not heard. And for us Kurds right now, it's very, very important to be in that role.
Right. Yeah. We've suffered a lot, so we need to work hard to be noticed.
Yeah, and one of the ways that we can do that is, get into politics, like run for office, get involved with our senators, our congressmen, women, and just do like even with your community, like mayor, city leaders, commissioners, it doesn't matter as long as you're getting involved. And I feel like every person you get to know on a personal level and you tell them your story, I feel that that's another person that supports the Kurdish cause. That's how I see it.
Me too. We get our voice heard. One
Yeah,
person
it's so
at a time.
important.
Yeah.
It's so important.
It
Yes.
is, yes. The other question is that what are the key obstacles that prevent women, especially Kurdish women, from standing up for themselves, and how can this be overcome?
That's a really good question. One of the biggest obstacles or barriers is culture. Sometimes, we don't practice our culture the way it should be practiced, unfortunately. And, we maybe look at women as, someone that's supposed to be at home, supposed to be taking care of kids, supposed to be cleaning. And things have changed. And even in Kurdistan, you see Kurdish women that are in the parliament, that are, lawyers, that are doctors. And I'm so proud of that, to see that big of a change in Kurdistan region. Even the advisor of the prime minister of Kurdistan is a woman. That's a big accomplishment. And I feel like, yeah, just the stereotypes, the woman being worried about, oh, am I going to be talked about, or is somebody going to look at me differently because I'm a woman, because I'm speaking up, because I'm doing this. Those are some of the barriers that we need to get rid of and support our women.
And also family role, making sure that you're not doing anything to disappoint the family. So that's also a barrier for most of us Kurdish women, is the family.
Yes, and I agree with you on that 100%. If you don't have a family that supports you, whether it's your mom, whether it's your husband, whether it's your brother, or your whole family, especially like the male, family members of your household that don't support you, it's honestly really discouraging. And a lot of women don't want to do anything because they don't believe in themselves, or they're worried about, how their family members are going to react. And honestly, for me, that is like one of the biggest things that I'm proud of. Is I grew up without a father, and I didn't have a father. My mom was a single mom, but my brother, he was like a father role. Like he took the father role, and he was the one that, was responsible for everything that we did. But I'm so proud to say that my brother supported me 100%. And he just believed in me so much as a young girl. He kept pushing me. He's like, Jihan, you're smart, you're intelligent, you've got this, spark in you. I want you to keep going. And he always supported me and never ever closed the door on me, say, hey, you can't go here, or you can't do this because you're a girl,
Right.
And I'm so blessed to have somebody support me that way.
And I believe like it's really important to have someone in your corner that sees that spark in you. When they see it, and they know you can do great things, so it's good to have someone like that in your corner.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. I'm so blessed that like all my brothers support my work, support what I do, and they're proud of everything that I've done. And sometimes, I do have that little bit of an obstacle with my mom, but I'm like, Mom, you need to understand. And I try to explain it to her and bring her to support, some of the things that I do as well.
Yeah, same with my mom. She's like, you're getting into this, you're getting onto social media. You're going to be
Mm-hmm.
in the eye of the people.
Mm-hmm.
She is somewhat not happy with it, but she also understands that it's something that I want to do, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore I'm doing it. And one of my brother, he's backing me up. My husband understands, so he's like, as long as you are focused, it's fine. Because I'm a
Yeah.
student also, and it's hard uh,
Mm-hmm.
running the family house, and doing studying full time Bachelor of Engineering, and then
Mm-hmm.
also getting involved in Step Magazine project. It's a little bit tough, but I love doing it, and that's why I'm here. So women like you do encourage me. And when I saw you and I spoke to you, I was like, I have to do this. This is something that I can do. So thank you for that. You're one of my
Honestly,
role models.
oh, thank you so much. You just telling me this literally gave me goosebumps because this is what we need to see is like
Yeah,
when you are so passionate about something, whether you're a mom, whether you're a wife, whether you're, you've never been outside of the, like your house and you've never worked outside or you've never, followed your dreams and all of a sudden you're doing all these things that you've always dreamed of. It's so crazy how much time you find.
yeah,
You're always like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. But then when you have passion and love for the things that you do,
yeah,
I promise you, you find all the time in the world and you get it all done. You get your kids stuff done, you get your passion done, you get, career,
true.
everything. Like,
It's
I
true.
mean, I'm a mom too,
You're right. Yeah,
but I'm able to like, invest time in my kids. I'm able to invest time in my home. I'm also investing time in my career and in my community because we need to do all of that.
that's yeah,
It's important.
yeah. It it's one woman at a time to step up and encourage another woman. So one by one, hopefully we will get everyone encouraged and
Yes, for sure.
stand up for themselves and for what they believe in.
Yeah, that's so so important.
One other question is, how do you encourage women, again, especially Kurdish women, to embrace their strengths and to assert themselves in environments where their voice is overlooked? They are discarded, not counted. So, how do you encourage this type of women?
Well, to speak up, if you don't speak up, how are other people supposed to know what your desires or your requirements or your requests are? We have to speak up. We have to say, hey, I want to go back to school, or, this is something that I've always wanted to do. I want to go to school. I want to be a doctor, or, hey, I want to run for office. I want to be the mayor. I want to do that. You have to speak up for yourself.
Yeah,
And when you have obstacles, that's when you fight for your passion, fight for your love for the things that you want to do in life. Because remember, we live once, you don't live twice. And the
sure.
time we have on this planet or on this earth, we have to invest our time. We have to make a difference. So when we leave this world, we left an example, a good example. You don't want to leave this world with not anybody knowing who you were, what you did,
Yeah,
or not make any difference. Like I want to die. Like even if I were to die today, I'm happy because I feel like I've got so much done
yeah,
and I want to keep on going. But if I were to die today, I'm okay with that because there's a lot of things that I wanted to do and I got to do that. And I'm so grateful for that.
yeah. Leaving your mark.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Um, the other question is, what roles do cultural and societal expectations play in shaping the confidence of women, Kurdish women, and how can we challenge those expectations to foster greater self-empowerment?
Mhm. Just supporting women, just letting them know how good they are and just thanking them for everything that they are doing. We are all human beings. And I mean, just myself, when somebody tells me, hey, thank you for doing this, or you did great, doing this project, and it just makes you feel good and you want to keep on doing more, just getting positive feedback. And sometimes maybe you don't know your strengths, sometimes maybe you're so lost in you just need that person to push you a little bit and say, hey, you're doing this so well, Jihan. You should do this more often, or maybe you should be a public speaker, or maybe, you should be a presenter for a TV station. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't think about this, but you're right. I am pretty good at that.
Yeah, they show you what's within you, like what's hidden within you, like that power, that strength that's inside of you. So again, it's great to have that person in your life that sees it
Mm-hmm.
and pushes you to unlock that power. So
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't have to just be your family, your
and
own
yes,
community.
you're right.
Your community, like here
Right.
locally. I'm so blessed to have the Kurdish community that I do have, because constantly I do get phone calls. I get people stopping me like, hey, thank you for doing this. Thank you for making this possible. Just recently, we were able to, I was able to meet with the Senator Rob Kupak, on one of the things that our community is struggling with, and that is like testing to get their permit for the driver's license.
Yeah.
And I said, there's some people that come here and their English is not so great, and they want to take the test in Kurdish or have an interpreter. And I sat with him and I gave him our concerns, and honestly, it didn't even take our senator 2 weeks. He got it done, and now you can go to the DMV and test in Kurdish dialect, Surani and Kermanji. So I had one of the guys call me and he was like, I just want to tell you that this is a huge accomplishment and thank you for what you're doing. And we are so proud of you as a woman and just being so fearless, and you're just taking everything in your own hands, and we appreciate you. And he's like, I'm taking my wife to go take her test. So he was so excited.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's good to have a man say that to you. It makes you feel like you've made a difference, and you have, which is great.
Especially when it's the older Kurdish man. When they
Yes.
say you're doing good, that means you are doing good, because it's
Exactly.
really hard, for a Kurdish older man to accept women doing things outside of the home.
Exactly, because they have that mentality from back then.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, things have changed
Yeah,
since then.
that's great. Another question: what advice would you give to young women, uh, especially Kurdish women, who feels unsure or fearful, or like about standing up for her rights, and in her own family, like, or community, like me, for instance? Like, I was fearful for a while to stand up to them. What advice would you give to someone like that?
I would say, being a young Kurdish woman, it's like one of the biggest, uh, like being a Kurdish woman. Honestly, I'm just so proud of. It's like one of the biggest, proud moments of my life. I'm just so blessed, and telling other girls in our community, education is everything. When you get yourself educated and you go to school, you get your degree, you're focused on your career, you're focused on, what you want to do as a profession, and you want to expand your opportunities. You want to have the knowledge when you are on your own that you're going to succeed, because you are going to run into, family members not supporting you, but or like community. But as long as you're educated, you've got your profession, and there's ways you can protect yourself and your culture and your identity, and also be a woman that is self-sufficient, that's a professional, and that is doing a lot of the things that men are doing. I don't see why I am different than a man. Like, if I'm capable of doing all the jobs a man is capable of doing, so why do you have to you deprive me of that profession just because I'm a woman? That's not okay,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. How important is it for women, especially our Kurdish women, to build supportive networks with other women? And how does this help in empowering them to stand up for themselves?
I would say that's everything. Networking is huge. And honestly, if it wasn't for all the networking I've done with all the Kurdish women that are professionals, I don't think I would be here.
Right.
But it's all of the networking we're doing, like connecting with each other, doing projects together, having meetings together, whether it's local, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's, women in Kurdistan that I work with. I mean, I network with so many people worldwide. It's insane. You'll be like, how do you keep up with all these people? But honestly, that has shaped my life entirely because I mean, I might have one idea or one thought, and then I connect with one of my other networks that's a woman. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this idea? Hey, it's a great idea. And then she adds on to it. And then you ask your other network, who is another woman, and then she gives her idea. And all of a sudden, you have this beautiful project that you put together and you didn't even think it was possible. So I encourage all of us Kurdish women to connect. And the biggest issue we have is not supporting one another, you know? Like we women need to support each other. We do not need to compete with one another. We can compete with ourselves to be a better person, to even do better in life. But I feel like a woman should not compete against another woman to succeed. And unfortunately, we do run into that a lot where a lot of women don't support each other because I don't know what it is, but like in my circle, all the women that I have in my life, I am so blessed, because every day we send each other encouraging messages. Thank you for what you're doing. Oh my, I'm so proud of this award you got, or congratulations on this, even on social media. Sometimes we give each other shout outs. Thank you for doing this. Good job for breaking barriers. Good job for graduating, getting your degree. Like we're always complimenting each other.
That's great. What do you think of women on social media or active, especially Kurdish women? What would you tell the people who think women are on social media for one reason only, and that is to chat with men or do things that their mind tells them that they're doing?
Honestly, that's very unfortunate because social media is supposed to be for networking. It's supposed to be for you to find out what's happening in the world. It's for you to learn from others. It's not, social media platforms are not for you to go, like find dates or find men or find women. Like I see social media like is it's a tool that you can use to get your voice heard anywhere in the world. Like at some point, there was a time where my social media was very private. I kept it private because I was just connecting with the people I already knew. But then, I would have a lot of people message me like, hey, this, that, can you please make your social media public? There's a lot of women, there's a lot of people that are learning from you because you have to know how to use social media too, Social media is for us to network, to post like things that are encouraging for others, post encouraging information, post information, like, like just the things that you're doing in life that are in your profession so other people can see, oh, wow, this is happening in Fargo Moorhead. I didn't know. Like, for example, like Women International Day, having an event here, posting it on social media that gives other people in the world, hey, we should do that too. It's for ideas, it's for networking, it's for education. Social media should not be used other way. And especially as Kurdish women, we have to be very, very cautious when it comes to that. Like we have to literally have we have to like always be like police officers to ourselves when we're on social media, because you could do literally one thing wrong on social media and there goes your whole life. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is in the Kurdish society. So we have to know how to use social media and make sure that you're always professional, and make sure when you post something, you think about it a lot before posting it, because you do not want to regret it.
Yeah. In your leadership experience, what strategies have been effective in helping women, our Kurdish women especially, to overcome self-doubt and advocate for their own rights and needs?
The way I support them is you just gotta follow your dreams. You have to believe in yourself, and you just gotta keep on going because, like I said, life is too short. I was working with this Kurdish girl. She had recently moved to the States, and she was a little bit different because she's albino and she couldn't see well. And she came here for the first 6 months, locked herself in her house, never got out, never opened her windows, always in the dark, maybe slept 20 hours a day. And when I got in her life, I'm like, oh no, you cannot be doing this, you know? And I was able to get her all the support that she needed. And all of a sudden, I saw her. She was getting out. She was getting to her medical appointments. She was dressing up. She signed up for college. She's now a full-time student, her second
Wow.
year. She's involved in a lot of the nonprofit work. She's involved in the community. She has friends. She goes out and she just like a woman full of life, and I'm so proud of her. Like, I want to share her story with everybody, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah, please.
Just imagine sleeping 20 hours a
Wow.
day and just being up for 4 hours just to eat and just go back to sleep. I mean, I can't imagine, you know?
Another level of depression.
Yeah, so
Oh,
after
that's
working
great.
with her and just encouraging her, and she's very, very smart. She's so intelligent. She speaks like five different languages.
Wow.
She came to America and her English was literally perfect.
Wow.
And how can you not use these skills and get out there and do something with your life, you know?
There are people that need those skills, so it's good that she's out now. Good for her.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we need that. And she's out and doing all those things. And I'm just proud that I was able to help, help make that happen.
That's great. How can men, especially in Kurdish communities, support women in standing up for themselves? And why is male solidarity important in this process?
Well, like I said with my brother, honestly, if it wasn't for his support and encouragement and believing in me, I don't think I would have got this far. Because when you don't have males supporting you, it's really hard. You're scared, you're worried, you're like, okay, who's gonna protect me? How am I gonna survive this? What happens if I do this wrong and people start talking? Then what? But if you have like the male community members or male family members or friends that support you and tell you, hey, we support you and we're going to be supporting you until you reach your dreams and accomplishments that you want to accomplish. And then, there's no way you're not going to succeed.
That's great. Yeah, it's true. Can you share any personal stories of Kurdish women who have successfully stood up for themselves and the impact it had on other lives?
I mean, examples, I would say just the women I know in my life that are making a difference, that are like, I would say making the ground shake is one of my dear friends, Bayan Sami. When I see her, honestly, like she gives me all the power that I need. Because think about it, she's like the advisor for the prime minister for climate change. She, like, every time I see her on the news, there's all these men with suits, right? And it's only her standing tall and strong. Like, I'm that Kurdish woman that can do this. And she believes in herself. And I know that, like, her husband supports her 100% because she wouldn't be as successful as she is if her husband discouraged her or didn't support her. So, like, just seeing her, the work that she's doing for the Kurds and Kurdistan as a woman, honestly, it's just like one of the biggest prides for me. Another example is Stav. Also, she's like with the Barzani Foundation,
Right.
and like every time I see like projects happening or meetings, and I look, and she's just like this very very
Is it there?
beautiful Kurdish girl that's not even married, and she's there and making a change and changing people's lives and empowering other girls. And I'm just like, I always tell her, I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Like, you make me so proud to see a such beautiful Kurdish woman or girl that's out there, not even married, single, and making such a difference in Kurdistan is huge. And honestly, like, I look up to her because we don't see that many women that are doing these type of things. Like my friend Delvin, Delvin Taher, she lives in the States, but she's just like me. She's so active. She's always putting her time into her community, into her education, her work. And she's like that type of woman that supports every person that she walks, into their life. She just encourages you, empowers you, and always has an ear for you to listen to. So those three women that I looked up to a lot, they're like my biggest role models right now, honestly.
Well, you all have my love and respect.
Thank you.
What are some Kurdish women that have or are breaking barriers that inspire you, and that you are proud of them being Kurds?
Like I said, Bayan Sami is one of them, like a proud moment for me. Asu, Staff Asu, she's like one of my closest friends, but like I'm so proud of everything she's doing. Dilvin Tahir, she's like my sister, but like she just got like one of the fourth highest award, through the Navy from her job. She works with the US government. Look at Layla Zana. She was the first Kurdish woman to be in the Turkish parliament, and she was Kurd. I mean, think about it. First woman being Kurd and being in the parliament, and she's been to prison. She's gone through so much, but she still stands up to what she believes, and those are the type of women you're like, hey, I can be them too, and we can. Why not?
Yeah,
And
follow
I'm
the
sure they've had,
footsteps.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure they've had their like, obstacles and people getting in their way, like getting the negative feedback, people didn't believing in them, people discouraging them. But I know I'm 100% they didn't let that get to them. And that's why they're so successful right now.
Yeah, and that's why it encourages us to follow in
Yes,
the
exactly.
footsteps. Yeah, that's great.
Anybody that ever tries to stop me, honestly, say, hey, you're a woman, you shouldn't do this. I'm like, look at Bayan Sami. Look how successful she is. Nobody talks bad about her. She's a woman. She's doing
Yeah,
a lot of good work, and nobody can say anything bad about her because she's a professional woman.
yeah, that's great. Yeah. How can Kurdish women abroad, like those in the diaspora, contribute to empowering women in Kurdistan to stand up for their rights?
Again, encouraging them to get their education, to building a career, to focusing more on their career than their image. Because I mean, we're all gonna get old, we're all gonna get wrinkly, we're gonna gain weight, we're gonna lose weight. Like the image, we shouldn't be so focused on. It's great to like look nice and dress nice and all of that. I of course everybody wants to look nice and dress nice, but I feel like we shouldn't be so focused on what we look like so other people can see us as objects. But I feel it's so important when a man stands right next to you, he's not looking at your beauty, but he's admired by your brain. He's admired about all the things that you know and all the things that you're capable of doing. He's like, wow, look at that intelligent woman. And right there, they're intimidated by you. They will not cross the line because they know you have the brain and they know you will use it if you need
Yeah,
to.
yeah, that's our power, our weapon. Our
Exactly.
brain is
Yes,
our
yes.
weapon. It's true.
Yeah, our brain is our weapon. Like our image is not, is not.
You're right. Yeah, that changes.
Exactly.
Yeah. What long-term changes do you hope to see in Kurdish society that will empower more women to take control of their own narratives and fight for their rights?
Being more supportive, encouraging women to get, to take action, to ask them, hey, like if you're running an organization and you see a Kurdish girl or woman that you think is gonna, be good for the organization, invite them to be part of your organization. If you're a leader, like in the politics, and if you see a woman that's, that you think is fit, like, hey, come and work for me. I see your intelligence. I see how smart you are. You're gonna be perfect for this. Just encouraging them, supporting them, and um, stopping those people that are like speaking so negatively or so against women standing up for themselves, changing their mindset, advocating for women, like being an advocate. Like I could go to a Kurdish household and maybe they're going to start talking about, oh, this woman, did you see, like, she went to college in another city and she's a lawyer now, and I can't believe her family let her do that. But okay, her family let her do that. She went and became a lawyer. What did she do? She didn't become a drug dealer. She didn't do anything crazy. She's a lawyer now. She can advocate for her people. She can advocate for her family. She can represent a lot of people with that degree. There was nothing wrong with that in the first place. Seeing the good and the things that we're doing instead of the negative. That's huge.
Yeah, you're right. My last question. Is
Yes.
there anything left we didn't cover that you wish to add?
Yes, I feel like that as Kurds, we need to be united, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, doesn't matter who you are. You need to unite. We need to support one another. And one thing, honestly, that I cannot stand is us going on social media and trying to bring each other down, trying to disrespect one another, trying to, make someone look bad even though they're not. And you truly know in your heart that person is not bad, but you just don't want to see them succeed. So you use your social media or use your leadership or whatever power that you have to bring somebody down. But truly in your heart, that person is not like that, but you try to destroy them. I hope that I never see, like, honestly, it breaks my heart when I go on social media and see someone, trying to break another Kurd. It just it makes me so emotional. I'm like, how can you be so harsh? And especially us women, we're so fragile. And I've dealt with so much that myself. A few years ago, I mean, I had these Kurdish men like try to bring me down where they like stole my pictures and they were trying to call me a thief. They were, saying all these things that I had nothing to do with. And they tried so hard to bring me down. And, there was times I would say, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But then I would ask myself, well, if you stop right now, Jihan, then they're going to do it to the next person.
Yeah.
Do you really want to stop?
Yeah.
And even in my own community, like some people, attack you for no reason because they see you doing something good and they try to stop you. It's like, why stop me? Why not support me? Or why not say congratulations on this accomplishment? Or why can't we work together? Like, it's so discouraging for other girls. And honestly, like, I know, like, I was, recently like attacked even in my own by a community member of mine, and for no good reason, just for personal reasons, because I don't even want to get into details, but it discouraged a lot of other young girls that were so
Yeah.
excited and so ready to, get involved in the Kurdish cause. And this person discouraged these girls because they were so afraid he would go on social media and do the same thing to them. So they backed down. And if I tell you this, you're not going to believe it. After those girls left my house, I cried for hours. I'm like, this is not okay.
No, no, that's unfortunate. That's
Yeah, so just being, supportive of one another and just be yourself. If you can't be anything, be yourself. And there's a saying, if you can do good, do it. But if you can't do any good, you can stop yourself from doing harm to others.
yeah. Yeah. They see the beauty within you and they don't like it, so they try to bring you down.
I feel like, anybody that tries to bring down a woman is intimidated by them,
Anyone that
especially
does it
when it
with a
comes to a profession.
yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
there's no way, like, okay, let's say you're doing a job and you're doing it wrong, that's fine, you're doing it wrong, but let me correct you and I will do it right. I will do it. I don't have to come and destroy you, attack you, make you feel like you're nothing just because I see the way I see it, I feel like you're doing it wrong. Maybe in your eyes you are doing it right, right?
yeah, yeah.
So just so any Kurdish girl right now that's struggling or that's scared to come out and be herself and be self-sufficient, be a professional, get her education and become independent. We need to do that because, like, if you're married, what happens if your husband dies? Then what are you going to do? You can't support.
Yeah.
How are you going to support yourself if you don't have, if you don't have that independence? Or let's say your husband leaves you, or you never get married, you never find that man that you marry, you stay single for the rest of your life and you don't have anybody taking care of it, and your parents passed away, then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So you have to think about it in the long term, like, as the woman, how can I improve myself for the future of myself, my kids, my grandkids, and for like the generations to come.
It's true. Sorry, I have one more question that might be important to ask you is
Yeah.
What do you think of women, especially our women, and especially back home, that go out for attention, that make themselves look beautiful for attention? For instance, plastic surgery. Uh,
Hmm.
what do you say to women like that, that are hungry for attention instead of for success?
And it breaks my heart because I feel like, all that money that you have invested in trying to make yourself look different than how you were born. So just other people can look at you and be satisfied or accept you. It just breaks my heart. Imagine all that money that you're investing in plastic surgeries, that you invest into your education, invest in yourself to become self-sufficient, invest in a charity,
Yeah,
invest in an orphanage, invest in something that is going to make an impact or a difference in your community or in yourself. Do you know how much power that would be? Like, I mean,
yeah,
let's say you do plastic surgery, that fades away. It doesn't stay for a while, forever.
yeah,
Like you could spend $20,000 on yourself, and it's gonna fade away months or years later. But if you invest those $20,000 on your college education,
yeah,
that's gonna invest in your entire life, you know. So I tell all the women that I this is so important for me. Like, don't be an object for men
yeah,
or for anybody to look at you. And honestly, I say that a woman that is the original and just is natural and is confident in herself, she will, I feel like maybe lack of lack of confidence for sure for people to go under the knife because it's not an easy process. So I hope that, all of us women um, can just think about how can I invest in myself? How can I do better? How can I become a professional instead of like, how can I make other people look at me? Because I don't want to be looked at as an object. I want to inspire people. I want to make a change in the world. I want to bring good to my community. I want to, like little girls to look at me and be like, wow, Jihan did this. I want to do it too. I don't want a girl to be like, oh, Jihan got her lips done. I want to get my lips done. I don't want that. And it's so sad, especially in Kurdistan right now. It has almost become like a disease where
yeah, unfortunately.
everybody feels like it's a competition, like they have to do plastic surgery. And I'm not going to lie, us Kurdish people, we are so beautiful, men and women,
Yeah,
we
it's
are like natural beauties. And it's like, why are you doing this? Like, what is wrong? Why would you even, put yourself through the knife, like under the knife, and all that pain that you have to go through so somebody can look at you and be satisfied? It's heartbreaking. And the sad thing is, it's like a cycle. The minute you do one plastic surgery, it becomes like an
yeah,
addiction.
yeah,
You want to do another one, you want to do another one, because all of a sudden you see, like, you see every part of your body that there's something wrong with it. You're not happy with
yeah,
anything that you have, and you want to change everything. And that's very sad. It like you have no confidence in yourself when you're just keep on changing yourself for others, but I mean, if you have a medical condition, or if you're doing it for reasons where you were in a really bad car accident, or there's like something you were born with and you have to get it done, I mean, it's okay. I mean, but I just don't want it to become like an addiction.
yeah. No, it's unfortunate. Most of our young ladies back home, they go under the knife, as you say, and the reason is to get noticed, to get attention, especially
Yeah.
from the male section.
Like,
It's sad. It's unfortunate, and I know a few of them that have actually borrowed money to go do that, just so they can get attention from other people. And like you said, that's sad and unfortunate.
it's
I
very
I
sad.
hope
Like,
they change because that's
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I've seen mothers invest into plastic surgery. Imagine if that money you invested in your kids to go to school. I would rather, if I had $20,000 sitting right there, I would rather, put it in my daughter or my son's education to go to college and get their degree instead of investing it in my face. because I mean, no matter what, I'm still that same person. It doesn't change you. It just changes the way you look,
Yeah,
you know? So I feel like we just need to be smart when it comes to how we invest in ourselves. And I feel like that investing is learning every single day you wake up. I'm waking up today. What do I need to learn today? What is there to learn today? How can I better myself? How can I be better than yesterday? How can I, learn from my mistakes? Like, what else do I need to do at work today so tomorrow I can succeed even more and make more money? It should be like that. It shouldn't be like, okay, what, like, you wake up and what kind of procedure should I have today? Or like, what is wrong with me? Like, I need to fix. It's sad, but I hope that we by just doing this interview that we're able to just touch a few women.
I hope so. I'm sure it will. There are
I hope
smart
so
women
too.
out there. There are smart, intelligent, like they have that power within them. They have that strength that it's unfortunate there are obstacles in their way that they are unable to let that power out. And
I
I
feel like all women, yeah. I feel like all women are strong and
yeah,
resilient and they can contribute so much
yeah.
to the world because look at all these successful men. How are they so successful? It's
Because they
because
have
they
a
have a
powerful women.
success exactly in the back that's
Yeah,
supporting them, that's leading them, that's telling them, do this, do this, do this so you can succeed.
yeah,
And that's exactly what's happening. We women are very intelligent
yeah,
and we have the power to change the world. And we can. We just have to believe in ourselves and just make the right choices. And even with our Kurdish culture, I mean, yes, I was raised here in America, but honestly, like I love being a Kurd and from Kurdistan. And, I'm just always proudly
yeah,
practicing my culture, my religion, where I came from. Every person that I meet that is not Kurdish, I always introduce my Kurdish identity to them. I'm a public speaker that goes and tells people my story of being a Kurd and what I've endured as a child and coming here and all of that. Those are all the, proud things that we do, like even with our culture. I'm proud of it.
yeah,
It's not that I'm saying, oh, like, this or that. No, we Kurds are the strongest, the most resilient, the most kind-hearted people out there. And especially when it comes to like the outsiders, our friends, our neighbors, we are so kind, we are so generous. And when I think about it, I'm like, I just can't believe there's 45 million Kurds worldwide without their own country. But if I don't speak up, if you don't speak up, if everyone else doesn't speak up and doesn't advocate, and we don't get our education to fight for that Kurdistan, how will we ever see a free, independent Kurdistan? We never will.
yeah, yeah, it's true. And I recently had someone ask me, like, where are you from? And I'm like, Kurdistan. And he's like, well, where is Kurdistan? I'm like, well, Kurdistan will be the biggest country in the Middle East, but it got divided. And I
We're
explained
working on it.
exactly. And I explained to him which part of Kurdistan I'm from. He's like, no, no, no. I found out he was Arab. And he's like, no, you're not Kurd. Your nationality is you're an Arab, like you're from an Arab country and your passport is Iraqi, right? I'm like, first of all, my passport is Canadian, but my nationality is Kurdish. I am a Kurd, and I will say I'm a Kurd. I will never say I'm from Iraq. I'm not an Iraqi. I am a Kurd. And he got upset with me, and it boiled my blood. It's like, well, and they are worried about that part, is that once it becomes a country, it's going to become the biggest country in Middle East, the
Mm-hmm.
most powerful country in the Middle East. And unfortunately, we're not a country because, like you said, we need to work on it. We need to be
That's the
united.
thing.
We need to be united and get ourselves educated, especially our women.
Mm-hmm.
Our women are resilient and powerful. They just need that little push.
Yes, and that's what I say, like we have to take action. If we don't take action, who will for us? I can't go and protest for another country when I don't have a country of my own, you
Yeah,
know? So
exactly.
like I get a lot of even people from my own community, like Jihan, why don't you protest for so and so or this country or that country? listen, I'm against war. I don't believe in war. I don't believe in killing. But when I see my own people getting killed in front of my face,
Yeah.
when I'm a refugee, I came as a refugee to another country because I don't have my own country. And I'm constantly getting attacked by my neighboring countries because I'm a Kurd. How can I speak up for someone else when I can't speak up for myself? So I encourage every Kurd that lives in the diaspora or diaspora. I'm sorry, like that word is hard for me. So if whether you live in Canada, Europe, the States, you need to take action. Like you need to, whether it's like petitions, meeting with your Congress, your senators, your government officials, you need to go and advocate for the Kurdish cause, even on social media. There's so much social media power that you can do anything with social media. Instead of investing in things that don't matter, invest in things that matter on social
Exactly.
media. And one of the biggest investment is the Kurdish cause. Like I grew up as a little girl just promising myself that I'm going to be a Kurdish advocate until they lay me to rest, because it just breaks my heart just to see 45 million people in the world without their own country.
Yeah.
And we are like the most peaceful people in the world, you know?
Yeah.
So I hope that every day our support network gets stronger and stronger. And one day I wake up and they're like, Jihan, wake up, Kurdistan is a country. And I will see that, inshallah.
Inshallah, we will see it. Yes. Just the day before yesterday, someone asked me, like, why are you not raising the Palestinian flag? Why are you not supporting Palestine? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
when my country was being bombarded with chemical weapons, Palestine did not raise my flag. Palestine, when the media asked the Palestinian president, did you know that the Kurds are being killed by chemicals? And his reply was, how did you want them to be killed then? Like something like that. That
Yeah.
was his answer. Like, and I said, I will raise their flag when they raise my flag. I will support them when they support me. It is sad. It's unfortunate. I feel bad that this is happening, but my own people are suffering as well. So therefore, I will focus on my people, helping my people. And again, when I see Palestinians raise Kurdish flags, I will raise the Palestinian flag at that time. But don't talk to me about supporting a country that supported Saddam Hussein's regime for attacking us, for killing us, burying us alive. So thank you, but do not talk to me about that. I like it just got me so upset. I just said that and I just walked away. Otherwise, I would have gotten into
Yeah.
a fight.
Like I said, like the Kurds, I mean, we're humans too. We
Exactly.
deserve to have our own country too. We deserve to be free too. But how can I protest for Palestine or for any country in the world when I can't advocate for my own people, when I can't free my own people? Like now I'm an American. If I can't serve my community, if I can't do anything good in my community,
Yeah.
what right do I have to go in another state and try to make another state different or change that community or try to do something internationally when I haven't already invested in my community here? This is my home. I live in Moorhead, Minnesota. So I have to contribute whatever I have to make my community a good community for all of us to live in. Same thing with being Kurdish. Like I have to fight for my people. I have to advocate for my people before I can advocate for anyone else. And with the Kurds, especially us in the outside of Kurdistan that live outside of Kurdistan, we have a voice. Like for me, I have access to my senators and congressmen and women. I can go to them and say, hey, please, there's a 5,000 Kurds in Minnesota. I want you to support the Kurdish cause. What do you think about the Kurds? And I have access to do that. But somebody in Kurdistan, whether they're like big in leadership or just a regular Kurdish citizen, they can't go to my senator and say, hey, we want your support in Kurdistan. That's why it's important for us as American Kurds or Canadian Kurds or European or British Kurds or wherever you're from. It's so important for you to go to your state leaders and tell them who you are and how many people live in that community that are Kurdish, and like why are they not supporting the Kurdish cause? Do you know how big that support will grow as if we all, I know there's like more than 70, 80, I know there's actually like around 100,000, if not more, Kurds just in the US. Imagine if all that 100,000 Kurds actually took action and went to their state representatives and even to the White House, and we advocated continuously. I know something would have been done by now.
And
but it's so unfortunate we're so focused on making money and moving up in this world, and we forget that we still need to fight for Kurdistan, because Kurdistan is still not a country yet.
Yeah, and I believe that us Kurds that are outside of Kurdistan, like in Europe, Canada, US, wherever we are, we have a better chance of getting Kurdistan voice heard than the Kurds within Kurdistan.
100%.
And it's unfortunate that not many of us feel that way, because if we did, like you said, we all got together, we united, we became one voice, then the world would hear it.
Yeah, stop focusing on attacking one another.
Exactly.
Focusing on freeing Kurdistan. How can we make Kurdistan a country? What can we do? How do we contribute to that? That should be all of our focus. We should stop focusing on trying to bring each other down, trying to hate each other, trying to attack one another. If you can't support me, you can hate me. It's okay, but you don't have to go out in public and scream, I hate Jihan, I hate Jihan.
Right. Yeah.
Not gonna do for you or me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But like, not everybody's gonna like me or you or somebody else, but we can keep that hate to ourselves, and we don't have to go and display it, because it makes you look really bad.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you're a Kurd and you go and display that hate, you're making yourself look bad, not me. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine like myself, I have like over 7,000 followers, and I have a lot of people that are not Kurdish, Imagine if I went on my social media and attacked another person. I mean, and that was Kurdish, Do you know how embarrassing that would be for my non-follower friends? They'd be like, what is wrong with Jihan? Oh my God, look at, I didn't know Kurds were capable of doing such thing. It's just embarrassing for me.
It's true. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed this discussion, and I hope we can do it again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Though, face to face. Once you come to Canada, you have to come see me, or if I come to the States, I'm gonna.
Yes, you're more than welcome. Come to the state anytime. I mean, the door is open for you, and I will eventually come to Canada. I'm planning on it. When? I don't know yet, but I do want to come there.
Well, I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me.
You have my love. You have my respect. I'm backing you up in any way I can. And
thank you so much. And same with me, I support you, and thank you for standing up. Thank you for making a difference in your community. And I know you just standing up and doing what you're doing right now is gonna give motivation to 100 or 1,000 or 2,000 or way more than that, motivation to girls, where they're gonna be ready to take action and step up and be proud. Because I mean, we grew up here in America and Canada, and just our daughters, like if I don't stand up, and if I don't, teach my culture, if I don't learn about my people, how is my daughter going to ever know who she is, where she came from? What is the story of the Kurds if I don't do it? So like us women, we have such a big role, and we have to take action, no matter what the obstacles are. We have to stand up. We have to speak up. We have to be encouraging for our daughters, for our sisters, for our mothers. Maybe my mom, she never had the chance to go to school. I did have the chance. Maybe there's so many things that my mom couldn't teach me, but I had access to teaching those things myself. Now there's social media, there's all of that I can pass on to my daughter, And we are just so grateful to have the opportunity to live here in the States and to have access to everything. When you have access to everything, life becomes so much easier, and there's so much more you can do with yourself and with your life and make a difference in someone's life. Even if it's one person that you can make smile or just bring a little change to their life. When you go to sleep, I promise you're going to go to sleep with a smile on your face, because you're going to like, I made a difference. I made someone smile today, and you're going to smile instead of, making somebody cry or hurting their feeling or trying to bring them down, that's not going to take you anywhere.
No, you're right. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
All right, have a good one. Take
You
care.
too. Bye.
Bye.